Hi, this is Nina Amir, the Inspiration to Creation Coach, and the founder of the Write Nonfiction in November Challenge, which is also known as National Nonfiction Writing Month. This week, we've been talking about creativity on my blog. I hosted an expert on creativity who offered some tips for nonfiction writers on how to be more creative. And I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about where you need to go to be more creative, or what spaces make you feel more creative, because we don't always feel the most creative in our offices. So sometimes we have to venture outside of our offices to feel creative. Now, I don't encourage doing that all the time, but there are a lot of people who prefer to be outside of their office. But you need to develop a habit of working in your office and feeling creative there as well. Recently, I went through a process of throwing out a ton of old papers. I used to print everything in the days when, that's what we did. We printed. And so I printed tons and tons of papers, and they were taking up a lot of room in my office. And so I cleared a lot of them out, and that allowed me to actually get rid of a shelving unit and to move some things around. And now my office feels a little more spacious. I also got a standing desk and got rid of some books. You'd never know it by looking behind me. I have a lot of books. I don't like to get rid of my books, but I did make my office feel good. And you may not be able to really see behind me very well, but there are objects up here on the shelves, like this right here. It's a shell, a big shell with a smudge stick in it, some sage. I'll just bring it over here. It's got some sage in it, and sometimes I will begin my writing session by actually lighting the sage and smudging myself in the Native American tradition. Over here on the other side, right over there, you can see there are a bunch of different things. I actually have some candles that I light, and I say little prayers of intention for my writing period or for my work day. And I have some little figurines, actually even though I'm Jewish, I observe a lot of, or I have learned about a lot of different spiritual traditions, and my practice is quite eclectic, and so you'll find up there some Hindu gods that I just liked. I liked their symbolism, and they're there, as well as crystals and rocks and things like that. So when I come into my office, I may light incense up here on the shelving. So on this bookshelf, I will set up incense, and I will light the candles, and I will set my intentions for the day, and I might smudge to clear my energy, and a variety of different things. And I have music I like to play. And so I create an atmosphere in my office that makes me feel more creative. I listen to some Mozart music that is supposed to be to inspire creativity, and other Mozart pieces that are good for focus and clarity and the mind. So I intentionally or consciously set out to do some things in my office to help heighten my creativity. But you may want to go outside. You may want to sit outside, and there are days when I don't feel creative in my office, and so I go sit in my on my deck. I have a beautiful view through the redwood trees to the ocean, and on a nice day, I can sit out there, which actually is a lot of the year in Northern California. I can sit outside on my deck and I can write, or I can stand on my deck and write. There are some places where it's a good height for me to put my laptop, and I can actually stand. Some days I want to go down into my living room. In the winter, when it's cold and rainy here in California, we'll have a fire going in our wood-burning stove, and I can sit there near the fire and I can write. And sometimes that feels more creative to me. So you just have to figure out, where is good for you. But I encourage you to make your office space into one that inspires creativity, that gets those creative juices going. But then find some other places as well that feel creative to you. I often talk about sacred space, that your office or your writing area should be a sacred space, that you should make it feel that way. But sometimes nature is a sacred space. Maybe there's a river you like to go sit by, or there's a cafe by the ocean. And sometimes we need sort of a dull background noise, or commotion, and that's why some people like to write in coffee shops. So think about that. It may be that you want to write in a coffee shop because there's something about that that sparks your creativity. Or maybe you need to go sit in a museum or in the library, wherever it is. It doesn't really matter. But find some places. You might have 2 or 3 places or 4 or 5 places that really do heighten your creative energies. And so that's what you want to do. Find those. So that's sort of my challenge to you, is to find some creative places or some places that make you feel more creative as a writer. And make your office into a sacred space that also inspires your creativity and makes you want to write and makes it easy for you to actually, sit down and produce the work and to feel like you're tapping into that creative part of yourself. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope this tip has been helpful, and I hope you take part in the Write Nonfiction in November challenge. You can find out more about that at www.nationalnonfictionwritingmonth.com, and you can find out more about me at ninaamir.com, and please feel free to contact me for any kind of coaching related to writing and publishing and blogging, or even for high performance coaching. So that's it for today. This is Nina Amir, the Inspiration to Creation Coach. Go out and achieve more inspired results.